So tell me if you've ever done this before, because I'm sure at some point, all of us have done this at least once in our lives. Some person, maybe it could be a friend or family member, asks you if you liked or didn't like something. It could be a new movie that came out, or a new song that dropped, or maybe even a restaurant that opened up in your area. Now, you never watched that movie or tried that restaurant that that person is asking you about, but you've heard a lot about it. You've heard maybe some really good things or really bad things. So for the sake of conversation, you'll just say, oh yeah, no, I thought it was great. Or, oh no, yeah, I thought it sucked. I thought it was mid. Now imagine doing that before the official voting for the official nominees at the Oscars. You're an official voter. You get a ballot and you see the nominees, and some of them you've never seen before in your life, but you're still gonna vote for it. Because believe it or not, the Academy has never had an actual rule implemented that voters need to watch all of the nominees, all of the films. So it was announced yesterday that now Oscar voters can no longer vote in a category unless they've seen all the nominees. How was this not a requirement earlier? This genuinely makes no sense. Like, how were you actually letting voters vote for things that they may or may not have ever seen before? I mean, just listen to this. The Academy is now making it harder for members to vote in categories which they have not watched all the nominees, which BAFTA has done for several years. Shout out to BAFTA. Something that, based on anecdotal evidence, has become more of a concern for the Academy in recent years, since the organization massively expanded its membership and brought in a lot of young members who are busier with their careers. For anyone that may not know, yes, they did expand the people that can vote for the Academy and the Oscars and all that kind of stuff. So it blows my mind here. In the past, voters were always asked not to vote if they hadn't watched all the nominees, but the process operated entirely on an honor system. I mean, how many people do you actually believe, of all the voters in the Academy, how many of them do you actually believe honored that? Like, come on. We're not just talking about some small award show here. We're talking about the Oscars, the creme de la creme for movies and filmmaking. This makes no sense. What I'll at least give some credit for is the implementation that they're going to go about this, because that was my first question. How are you going to track how everyone is going to watch all the nominees before they actually can vote? And it's actually stated right here. Moving forward, the Academy's e-voting system in the final round of voting will not allow members to access the ballot for categories in which they have not demonstrated that they have watched all the nominees. The Academy will track viewing via the members-only Academy Screening Room streaming app. As for films consumed elsewhere, like at screenings, film festivals, members will have to fill out a form declaring when and where they watched a film. It also mentions in the past, members had to do this in order to vote in the preliminary and nomination rounds for Best International Feature, Animated Feature, Animated Short, and Live Action Short categories. So, I mean, I like the idea here, at least. It seems like it's at least going to be much more thorough and precise. I mean, it really just begs the question at maybe how many films or nominees have been robbed or snubbed simply due to the fact that a lot of the voters didn't actually watch them. It just baffles me that this was not a requirement from the beginning years ago. I mean, this should have been what everyone should have been doing. I just had to talk about it real quick because it blew my mind and got me so frustrated, to be completely honest with you. So I'm glad that they're finally doing it now, but man, like, you couldn't do this like 10, 15 years ago? Please let me know in the comments what you think about this. And until next time, peace.